Hello, friends, and welcome back to Wonderlust Gaming. So, today I'm going to talk about why the Steam Deck is a much superior product to the Switch 2. And I'm going to talk about this because a lot of trolls came to my channel and they were like saying, like, the Switch 2 is much better than the Steam Deck. And I was like, are you serious? I know, right? It's funny because the Steam Deck it's like, how old is it? Like 3 years old now, and the Switch 2, which is a newer product, is number one more expensive. Number two, the chipset is not that great compared to the Steam Deck, honestly, because I've seen how like the games run on different systems, and I do know the some games do run on a higher resolution than the Steam Deck, but that's about it. That's about it. The Switch 2 is a restricted system. It's closed system, so that really closes the possibilities for many other options. Let's say, for example, on the Steam Deck, I do play a game from back in the early 2000s. It's called Fantasy Star Online, the first one, and it's a GameCube game, Dreamcast GameCube game, and there's still an online community, and I have a blast playing that game. I really enjoy playing that game on the Steam Deck because it just fits perfectly, and I can play it on the go, and I can play it on my monitor, and it's great. And that's what I'm saying. The you can't do that with the Switch 2. It doesn't matter if it's more powerful because it's a closed system. So that's only one reason, guys. One of the main reasons, and I'm gonna go over here some of the other reasons. The Steam Deck has a massive Steam library. There's like thousands upon thousands of titles, and you can also, if before you argue, oh my god, that Steam OS doesn't run certain games. That is true. But there's a such a thing called dual boot, and you can install Windows or run SteamOS. Yeah, you can change. You have to change it before you start the system. Each time that you want to switch back and forth between SteamOS and Windows, but you do have that option. You don't have that with the Switch 2. So if you want to play Warzone, you're gonna have a much better time trying to play that on the Steam Deck than on the Switch 2. And I like to have all my games, everything systems compacted into one system. Even though I do own a lot of, you can see handhelds here. I have a Switch back there. I have PlayStation Vita and the RG406V, and many others coming soon. So I like to have the ability to have those all my games into one system, which is my main system, the Steam Deck, which is here. It's always docked here because I play a lot of games on my monitor now. So yeah, you can also have Epic Game Store, GOG, Game Pass, and more. So you cannot tell me that you can do that with the Switch 2, guys. Please tell me. Leave it in the comments below. Tell me you can do that. Also, there's a lot of custom launchers that you can do. That's why you're able to play many many games that are not available on the Switch 2. So you're very limited with the Switch 2 customization. And one thing I like about the Steam Deck 2 is that you can mod a lot of games. You can tweak settings. You can like do a lot with your what do you call this, with your themes. You can change like a lot of fonts. You can do everything. So you can like truly customize it to your own liking. You can't do that with the Switch 2. you know and even though the Steam Deck has like a three-year-old chipset. It can handle games like Elden Ring, Cyberpunk 2077, which a lot of drones were bragging about, and I was watching some videos where the game drops to 20 FPS. So you guys tell me like the Switch 2 is better. And Baldur's Gate 3. We also have Expedition 33, which I believe it's not on the Switch yet, on the Switch 2. Let me have a look here. So according to this, it's on the PlayStation 5. It's not even on the. I think it might be coming in the future. Uh, they're open. New. Sorry, this is post was deleted. So yeah, there's no Expedition 33 on the Switch too. So that's another point for the Steam Deck. And I think Oblivion too. Let me see. Oblivion on Switch 2. There's no hard evidence that's Oblivion remasters coming to Switch 2. So I guess what, another victory for the Steam Deck. And because this video is going really like long, and I'm trying to make it short, but the Steam Deck just has so much potential over the Switch 2. It says here the emulation and retro gaming. That is true, guys. You cannot play older games on the Switch 2, unless you pay. You pay for those stupid yearly subscriptions to the Nintendo Online subscription, which you don't even own the games. You just like renting them. And if you stop paying for that, guess what? You won't be able to play the Wind Waker, next year. So that's another victory for the Steam Deck. Yeah, you can actually work from your Steam Deck too, so you can do that on the Switch too. You can run full Linux or Windows, and you can also connect it to external displays, monitors, keyboards. You can do that with the Switch too. And the Steam just offers better discounts, and very frequently. You can get the Kingdom Hearts collection integrate for $60, which is it's 3 main games plus a lot of you know uh, smaller side Kingdom Hearts games. Nintendo games rarely go on sale and stay at premium prices for years, which is true. $90 for Mario Kart World, and there was a lot of criticism for Mario Kart World. So I think also the Steam Deck. Well, this is not my opinion; it's a fact. It has better grips, better ergonomics, better buttons, trackpads. You don't have that with the Steam Deck, with the Switch 2. I'm sorry. So there's another victory for the Steam Deck. The only advantages that the Switch 2 has is like it has like first party Nintendo games, which Mario Kart World was highly criticized. I'm gonna make a video about all the negative aspects of the game. So ultimately, if you want power, freedom, if you're a true patriot, versatility, the Steam Deck wins. So I don't know what the trolls were saying. They were talking about sales. Who cares about sales? I care about, unless you own Nintendo, or you're like a slave corporate rat from them. Like, you shouldn't care about sales. So Steam Deck wins, guys. Bye bye.